What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. So it's Monday, and today I'm going to show you 5 things that you need to avoid when you're squatting. So these 5 things are things that are going to help you not only increase your squat, but also avoid any kind of knee or back or hip joint pain. So apply these and see how it works. So first one that we're going to do is the distribution of the weight on our feet. So that's how our feet are on the ground. So a lot of times, mostly newbies will, when they're doing their squats, they will come down here, and then once they get here, they'll pick their feet up or their heels up and push through the toes. So you don't want your toes off the ground, but you don't want your heels off the ground either. Now, if you're doing like an elevated heel squat, it's a little bit different. But for the most part, you want the weight distributed evenly between the front and the back of your feet. Mostly pushing through the heels, but again, you want your toes still on the ground. Okay, so the second one is foot placement. So if your toes are in too much like this, you're gonna have a hard time getting low just because your hips can't handle that angle of attack. So turn your toes out just a little bit. They don't need to be anything crazy like this, unless you're doing like a sumo squat. But turn your toes out just a little bit. That way when you do go down, you're able to clear your hips like this, because it opens up your hips a little bit more so you can get down like that. Now, the third tip is the depth of your squat. So a lot of times I see people squatting, they'll get to about here and then come back up. Now the problem with this is you're primarily using your quads, which obviously you're gonna wanna use your quads. But once you get to about here and lower, you start to access your glutes and your hamstrings and the entire posterior chain. So if you don't go down all the way, you're going to be neglecting to really get a good workout on the entire legs. So the fourth one is not to do too much weight. Now, when you're learning a good squat position or a good form on your squat, it's important that you get the form down before you start to add weight. This was one of the problems that I made when I first started working out, is I thought I needed to do a lot more weight than I actually did, and I ended up causing back pain and knee pain because I would do, the typical pushing on your toes and, bad form. So don't be scared to start off with low weight and get used to, the good form and get used to working out the legs right. Now the fifth and final tip I have for you is the angle of your back. The angle your back needs to be is the same angle that your shins are. So if your shins are like this, your back needs to be at the same angle. If your shins are like this and you're clear down like this, then you need to focus on sitting upright more in the bottom of your stance. Another thing is you don't want your back rounded. A lot of people when they squat do something like this, and what that does is it puts a lot of pressure on the upper spine. And so you want to keep your head neutral, meaning you're looking straight ahead and not up or down, because that's going to again change the angle of your spine. Keep your shoulder blades rolled back if you're using the trap bar, or if you're just using your traps, then it'll be a lot easier to keep your shoulder blades contracted. And so when you go down, you want your back to be as straight as possible. And when you get to the bottom, no bouncing or anything, then come back up. So those are my 5 tips, things to avoid on your squats. Hope you enjoyed. Now enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so for my squat exercise today, doing 3 sets of 6. Started off with 2 of 5 on the bar. Typically I do 3 sets of 5 with 245, but today I'm a little sore from yesterday's deadlift session. So I'm going a little bit lighter, focusing on good form. Just trying to get in a good couple sets here before we move on to some more accessory work. Guys, back at the house now. Finished up the leg workout. Didn't really record any of it after that first squat session, but finished off with some legs. Finished off with some calves and some abs at the very end. So I got these green apples, right? And I didn't know that these were like the super sour ones. Like you think sour candy, you think green, but still, I thought green apples were just regular apples. But apparently they're the extra sour boys. So got some. Oh, can't see me. Now you can. Got some chicken cooking. I'm not a fan of getting too fancy when it comes to making meals. Like, I like to stick to the basics. Get my protein in, and then enjoy the the rest of my food for my carbs and fats. You can do it however you want, but that's like, I'd rather just a little bit of protein in each meal, and then enjoy like some carbs and stuff. I'm pretty low on calories today because I only had like 600 calories for breakfast, and I'm eating 3,300 a day. So I still have to. Okay, so lunch I probably had 1,200. So I'm at about 1,800 calories for the day. Still got quite a bit to go. That's like 1,500 more by tonight. I'll have a pretty big meal right now, probably 1,000 calories, and then I'll have like 500 calories before I go to bed to finish off my meals. Weight right now, it's about 201, 202, hanging in that area. Last time I updated you, it was just at 200, I believe. So still still consistently putting on weight. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to bodybuilding and fitness in general, is staying consistent in your training and your nutrition. They go hand in hand. Because the more consistent, a little bit of protein in each meal, and then enjoy like some carbs and stuff. I'm pretty low on calories today because I only had like 600 calories for breakfast, and I'm eating 3,300 a day. So I still have to. Okay, so lunch I probably had 1,200. So I'm at about 1,800 calories for the day. Still got quite a bit to go. That's like 1,500 more by tonight. I'll have a pretty big meal right now, probably 1,000 calories, and then I'll have like 500 calories before I go to bed to finish off my meals. Weight right now, it's about 201, 202, hanging in that area. Last time I updated you, it was just at 200, I believe. So still still consistently putting on weight. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to bodybuilding and fitness in general, is staying consistent in your training and your nutrition. They go hand in hand. Because the more consistent you are, then the more you're going to see results. Like, even if what you're doing isn't the best, if you're not consistent with it, A, you won't know, and B, you won't get anywhere regardless of what it is. So if you're doing the perfect programming for you, then, and you're not being consistent, then it doesn't matter. So staying consistent is a big key in bodybuilding. I don't know why I brought that up, but I just came to my mind. Ooh, like sour candy. Alrighty guys, so it is Tuesday. So here's the thing, just got back from the gym, hit chest and biceps today, guys. So as many of you know, Sunday there was a domestic terror attack in Las Vegas. It was the worst shooting, the worst mass shooting in American history. Normally I try to stay out of politics on social media just because I think it's bad practice, but I do want to say just a couple things about this event. Somebody asked me, how can you stand there and see all these people killed and injured and not, one second, and not be an advocate for more gun control? And I have two answers to this. First of all, the gun that the guy used, the guns that he was using were illegal to begin with. So the fact that he had them means that he went out of his way in an illegal fashion to purchase them, i.e. on the black market or somewhere else that is illegal, obviously. So the second reason is there's no amount of gun control that will ever stop somebody from committing, somebody who's literally willing to open fire at 22,000 plus people for a solid 10 minutes and kill 60 of them and injure over 500 of them. There's no amount of gun control that's going to stop that kind of evil. Unfortunately, that evil does exist in the world. Pray for Vegas and stuff like. And other people were like, well, what's the point of praying now? It's already happened. You can't prevent it now. And two responses to that. First of all, I think it's always a good idea to pray. Not only so you can get stuff, but more importantly, so you can grow your relationship with God. I think that's a very important part, and I think that's one of the foundations of prayer, and that's what God had in mind with prayer. Not only so you can get what you can get from God, but what you can become closer to Him. And the second reason is there's so many people in not only Las Vegas, but a lot of people hurting now that weren't hurting Sunday morning. And so, and by hurting, I mean family members who lost loved ones or dealing with rehab for loved ones who were injured badly. So I think it's good to pray for them, pray for, you know, some ease of suffering and all that. That's my 2 cents on the whole thing. I think it's awful. It's very sad, but I don't know. I do think actions need to be taken to prevent it in the future, but I just don't know what. So, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.